So clearly, the Day of Atonement, once the sanctuary is cleansed, in regards to this calendar, a new year started. The 50th year of Jubilee would start. And Stephen Haskell explains this perfectly. He says, prior to the deliverance of the children of Israel from Egypt, the new year began in the autumn. But when the Lord brought the Israelites out from Egyptian bondage in the month of Abib, or Nisan, and what's that? That's the priestly months. He said, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. The month Abib corresponds with the last of March and the first of April. The first new year began in the autumn. For at creation, time began with the fruit trees laden with fruit, all ready to furnish food for man. The Feast of Tabernacles, or Feast of Ingathering, as it was also called, was held in the year's end, or the revolution of the year. The civil year of the Jewish calendar always ended in the autumn, but the sacred year began in the springtime. Hence, the Feast of Tabernacles was held in the 7th month of the sacred year. Wow, that right there is so amazing to me, because now I'm starting to understand that there are two different kinds of calendars, and this becomes important the further we go on.
And we're going to look at, we have two kinds of Sabbaths, and which we're all familiar with. The first one being the weekly Sabbath that we're observing today. In Exodus chapter 20, verses 8 to 11, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. I should have my daughters up here. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. And then we have in Leviticus 23, verse 3, 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest, a holy convocation. Ye shall do no work therein. Keep those in mind. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings. So no work could be done during the weekly Sabbath. Now let's look at the yearly Sabbaths. In Leviticus chapter 23, starting from verse 23. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, and the first day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, and holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work. Remember, for the weekly Sabbath, it said no work was to be done. But in this one, it's saying a specific type of work, the servile work. But ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. And we'll keep going. Verse 34, next slide. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, the 15th day of this 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days unto the Lord. On the first day shall be an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. 7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. On the 8th day shall be an holy convocation unto you, and ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. It is a solemn assembly, and ye shall do no servile work therein. Also, in the 15th day of the 7th month, when ye have gathered in the fruit of the land, ye shall keep a feast unto the Lord 7 days. On the first day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath, which was the Feast of Tabernacles. So no servile work, and there was a holy convocation and the yearly Sabbath. But the Day of Atonement is different, as the scriptures declare it to be as the same kind of Sabbath as the weekly one. So the Day of Atonement was different out of all the yearly feasts.
I want to go back to Mackenzie last year when he mentioned the 6,000 years. The only feast was the Day of Atonement is the Day of Atonement. It says the day. So as long the Day of Atonement is open, it's like a Sabbath. So we see the difference also for the Day of Atonement. But for the servile work now, what's the difference? So there's a difference between the yearly Sabbath and the weekly Sabbath. So during your yearly Sabbath, cooking was allowed. Kindling fire was allowed. Gathering stick was allowed. Carrying burdens was allowed. Certain works was allowed to do the feast. You cannot have a feast without anything. But for the Sabbath day, what did the Lord say? Prepare in advance. Day of preparation. So now we start seeing there's a difference between the lunar and the Sabbath day. Because during the Sabbath day, no cooking, no kindling of fire, no gathering stick, no carrying of burden, no matter of work allowed. So we discover what? The difference between servile work and no work. So now we started to say, oh, there started to be a difference between those Sabbath days, the lunar Sabbath and the feast, and the weekly Sabbath.
I also want to mention about that Day of Atonement being a Sabbath and how every day is a Sabbath. So whenever we come to present day, which is today is a Sabbath day, right? Well, when two Sabbaths fell on the same day, it was considered a high and holy Sabbath. So every time we're worshiping on the Sabbath day, because we're living in the Day of Atonement, it is a high and holy Sabbath day.
Amen.
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 Amen. So we'll continue. So there's a difference between the feast and the Sabbath. And we're just going to read Leviticus 23, 37 to 38. These are the feasts of the Lord, which he shall proclaim to be holy convocation, to offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord, a burnt offering and a meat offering, a sacrifice and a drink offering, everything upon his day. Besides the Sabbath of the Lord, and besides your gifts, and beside all your vows, beside all your free will offering, which ye give unto the Lord. So every day got their gift, but there's a separation between the feast and the Sabbath.
Amen.
So we're going to explain this even more because we kind of left out a little bit of info just to kind of pique your interest a little bit. We're going to explain Rosh Chodesh even more according to the Jews. In ancient times, Rosh Chodesh was a significant festival day. What kind of day was it?
Festival day.
Festival day. At that time, the new months were determined by observation. Each month began when the first sliver of moon became visible after the dark of the moon. Observers would watch the sky at night for any sign of the moon. So what's this saying? This is saying that the Jews had a system put in place in which they had observers that would be watching for when they would see that first sliver of light in regards to the moon. If they saw the moon, they would report their sightings to the Sanhedrin, which would interrogate them to make sure that they were not mistaken. Where in the sky did the moon appear? Which direction was it pointing? If two independent, reliable eyewitnesses confirmed that the new moon had appeared and described it consistently, the Sanhedrin would declare the new month and send out messengers to tell the people when the month began. And continuing on, The day after the moon appeared was a festival, announced with the sounding of the shofar, commemorated with solemn convocations, family festivities, and special sacrifices. The importance of this holiday in ancient times should not be underestimated. The entire calendar, which calendar was that? The priestly calendar was dependent upon these declarations. Without the declarations, there would be no way of knowing when holidays were supposed to occur. So let me ask you something. Is this happening today? Do we have a Sanhedrin? Do we have Jews who are saying, I can testify to this? We don't really have that anymore.
Nope.
So how on earth can we keep this lunar Sabbath calendar like what they are saying? We're starting to see some problems with it. So what does this all have to do with the lunar Sabbath? He pointed to the moon for seasons. When you look at seasons in the concordance, it actually means feasts. He appointed the moon for feasts. The sun knoweth his going down. Psalms 104:19. So the moon only tells the time of the months, not days and not years. The moon determines the priestly calendar of annual Sabbaths, not weekly Sabbaths. That's a big difference. And so we're going to go over a story in which why doesn't the lunar Sabbath calendar work in the way that they are teaching. So let's look at the story of David. In 1 Samuel 20, verse 5, and David said unto Jonathan, Behold, tomorrow is the new moon, and I should not fail to sit with the king at meat. So the new moon is about to be celebrated, thus the first month is about to come. In verse 24, so David hid himself in the field, and when the new moon was come, the king sat him down to eat meat. And it came to pass on the morrow, which was the second day of the month, that David's place was empty. And Saul said unto Jonathan his son, Wherefore cometh not the son of Jesse to meat, neither yesterday nor today? So Jonathan arose from the table in fierce anger, and did eat no meat the second day of the month. For he was grieved for David, because his father had done him shame. And it came to pass in the morning that Jonathan went out into the field at the time appointed with David, and a little lad with him. So what day did David leave? The third day of the month.
Yep.
Remember that. Third day of the month. We'll continue on with the story. And the priest answered David and said, There is no common bread. So David, after leaving, went, and the only place that he could find refuge was at the sanctuary, at the temple.
Yep.
And the priest answered David and said, There is no common bread under mine hand, but there is hallow bread. If the young men have kept themselves at least from women. And David answered the priest and said unto him, Of a truth, women have been kept from us about these 3 days. Since when? Since I came out. So he came out the third day of the month, and he's been kept away from women for how many days? 3 days. So now, according to this, either David is talking to the priest, depending on how you're counting, either on the 5th day of the month or the 6th day of the month. Why is this important? Well, when was the showbread eaten? Every Sabbath he shall set it in order before the Lord continually, being taken from the children of Israel by an everlasting covenant. And it shall be Aaron and his sons, and they shall eat it in the holy place. So it was eaten on the Sabbath day, which was the 5th or 6th day. So it can't follow the lunar calendar that we saw, where each Sabbath was, the new moon Sabbath was on the 1st, then the 8th day is the Sabbath, then you have the 15th day, and then the 22nd day. So obviously that calendar simply cannot work.
Can't.
It can't work. Based off the Bible, based off this story, this cannot work at all.